Hey everybody, how's it going? Hopefully you're all having a great week. We're almost to the end. It's Thirsty Thursday. Let's get drinking. Woo! Okay, so let's talk about this bottle of wine that I showed y'all last night. So this is Viansa Pinot Noir. It is an estate-grown wine. The vintage is 2018. Okay, so what does all that mean, Megan? All right, let me break it down. So first of all, let's talk about Viansa. I have been a VIP member with my sister Danielle for about 2 years now. We visited this winery when she lived out in San Francisco, and oh my God, I had never gone to a winery before and fell in love with every single pour. Now that's really rare. So I'm talking, I liked the Chardonnay, the Merlot, the Cab, the Pinot Noir, Sauvignon Blanc, Pinot Grigio, every single one that we tasted, I loved. I'm typically not into the dries and the sweet wines, Riesling, things like that, but oh my God, it just surprised me. So I couldn't leave that place until we got a case of wine every quarter. So that's what we've been doing for the past 2 years. And the wine is amazing. It is shipped directly from the vineyard. These bottles, which aren't sold in stores, right to our door, and it's amazing. I love it. So anyway, so this is one of the bottles that we got in our last shipment, and this is a Pinot Noir. So when it says estate grown, what does that mean? So estate grown means that all the grapes, 100% of the grapes in this bottle came from Viansa, and it came from this AVA area. What's an AVA area? AVA is the American vintage viticulture area. So there's areas throughout the United States, and those are designated for wineries. You cannot have a winery outside of one of these areas, so they have to be in the area. So this is a Sonoma, but this is also Carneros? Yeah, Carneros. So that means that 85% of the grapes came from this vintage and this area. The other 15% can come from another vintage year. So the vintage year is 2018. And then in terms of the grape varietal, so grape varietal is Pinot Noir. That's what's listed. So that means that 75% of the grapes that went into this bottle are Pinot Noir grapes. So the other percentage can be a little Sangiovese or Cab Franc or Merlot, or Cabernet Sauvignon. It's just mixed in, but 75% of it is Pinot Noir, which is the California rule. So, and with this wine, so when it says estate grown, all the grapes, 100% are from this vineyard as well as the AVA area. But this one also says that it is cellared and bottled there. So that means 100% of this bottle, everything that went into it, came from Viansa. So that doesn't mean it means that it didn't come from anywhere else. Any other vineyard, they didn't touch this bottle, just Viansa. So that's amazing. And that's actually, it's not that common. So you take something like a Barefoot, that's all over the coast. It just says California on it. It doesn't say an area typically, because none of the grapes come from a specific area. They come from all over California. So again, something to think about when you pick a wine. So when I pick a wine, I look at estate grown. I'm like, oh, do I know that vineyard? Have I been there before? Have I liked their wines? Okay, if it's estate grown, let me try it. Let me see if I like that vineyard or other wines that they have as well. So let me give this bottle a shot. The other thing is you always want to read the back. It kind of talks about the winemaking process or the vineyard itself. So this vineyard, Viansa, actually was established decades ago, and it's actually Vicky and Sam Viansa. So I think that was really clever. I liked it. So family owned, and it passed along to got sold along the way, but they opened it decades ago. The son came from another vineyard, Sebastiani, and he left his dad and opened up his own, and the views are exquisite. The wine is amazing. They have live music and food. It's just a great experience. So now, speaking of Pinot Noir, so what you want to do is you want to serve this at 58 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the best temperature for this wine. This glass that I have out is a Pinot Noir. Well, it's a Pinot Noir glass in the United States. Now, if this bottle, this type of wine, Pinot Noir, were made in France, it would be in the Burgundy area. It'd be called a Burgundy wine, not a Pinot Noir. And this would be called a Burgundy glass, not a Pinot Noir glass. So it's just a little different. They have different rules and regulations, just like the United States does. But I'm just talking about US tonight. So let's see. So Pinot Noir is also really well known in Willamette Valley, which is in Oregon. I've had some great ones from there too, which hopefully I'll share with you later on. I chose this one just because this vineyard is close to my heart. I've been there more times, I think about 3 times, but I've enjoyed every experience, every wine, every single time we get wine shipped here. I think I only just didn't care for one. I still drank it. It was still really good. It just wasn't for me, but I've loved every other bottle other than that in the past 2 years. So that's a winner. Okay, so what can we pair with this? Okay, so if I were to have guests over, I would maybe do a spread. So I would do salami, maybe some cheeses, so some Brie, goat cheese, Gouda. These are all soft cheeses or not as stinky cheeses because you don't want it to overpower the wine. So again, just subtle. The salami is a nice taste to offset and to bring in the different other flavors of the wine. You can also throw walnuts on the side as well. Tonight, I'm having grilled chicken. So it looks delicious. This is my dish. So again, roasted chicken with roasted veggies are really great with this wine as well. Other main dishes you can do: salmon, pork, duck, a mushroom risotto or like a creamy pasta would also be really good as well. Mushrooms definitely bring out different flavors in it as well. So that's a really good pairing for Pinot Noir. Another is pizza. If you like pizza, which everybody does, you can do a pizza with mushrooms, pepperoni, and or sausage, which are all complements of this wine. Okay, so we talked about reading the label. We talked about glassware. We talked about what to pair it with. So let's get into the tasting. Okay, so when you open a Pinot Noir, you want to serve immediately. You do not want it to aerate or decant. No need for that. If you want to decant a wine or aerate a wine, you have company coming over, you have a nice decanter set, pick an older aged wine that needs to let the air breathe, let it breathe in the air. Or a Cabernet Sauvignon is also really good. Aerate it ahead of time, maybe half hour to an hour before your guests come, and then pour it out. So when you pour a wine, you want to hold it, the glass sideways, kind of like a beer, and you don't want a beer to foam. So a wine, you don't want the sediment, the extra sediment to get into the glass because you don't want to drink that. Who wants to drink that shit? Okay, so you pour it to the side like this. And when you do a tasting, you only want to do about 3 ounces. You need to be able to get 3 sips out of this. Ooh, I like that. So 3 sips to be able to really taste a wine, okay? So we need to sight, smell, taste, okay, in that order. So I'm gonna just plug this up. So sight, you want to look at it. When you look at it, you want to hold it at a 45-degree angle, okay? And typically you want to hold it up against like a white surface, so you can, or a white background, so you can see the true color. So this is kind of like a burnt red, almost like a burgundy red. It's not super dark. I can see through the glass. And again, you don't want to hold it up like this, totally different color. You want to hold it down like this and look down into it against a very faint background, like a light color. So with the white, I think it's perfect. So I'm looking at it, okay? And then the other pieces, you want to kind of roll it around like this. And you see these are called tiers or legs. So what that is it's talking about the wine. Okay, so high alcohol level. No residual sugar up there, which is good. Okay, so now let's smell it. So when you smell, the whole point of the glass, so this is better than a white glass for a red because it's bold and then it comes to like a small circle at the top, an opening. The whites go straight up. They don't have concentrated, the wine wants you to have concentrated smell and exposure to it. So when you smell, you have to stick your upper lip in it like this. Smell. I smell cherry. I smell plum. And then, you know, everywhere you go tastings, they say to do this, do that. You know, everybody's different. For my Cornell class, they say swirl it. Hold it on a surface, swirl it. It helps, you know, get the air exposed to it and just bring up the scents to the glass rim, and you smell it. Okay. Definitely the cherry and the plum. Those are prominent. Okay. So now let's taste. We're going to taste it. So when you taste, you want to pull it onto your tongue. 3 sips, remember. So you want to pull it onto your tongue, and you want to kind of slurp it a little bit. You have a ton of taste buds, different sensations on your tongue, so you definitely want it to hit that. Your second sip, you want to swoosh it around your mouth. There are other taste buds in your cheeks. And then the third, hopefully, you know, is the final product. So let's give it a shot, right? Ooh, this is a good one. I definitely taste the cherry, strawberry, maybe some raspberry, plum, black cherry, and the oak. So since I taste the oak, I know that this was bottled and aged, or it was aged, not bottled, aged in oak barrels, not steel, which I tend to like. If you like really strong coffee, if you like prominent flavors in like a steak and stuff like that, you're probably gonna like oak. Chances are that those are my tastes, and that's what I like. I like really strong scents and sensations, I guess, in my mouth. Don't take that the wrong way, but in terms of flavor, I like strong coffee. I like to smell it. I like garlic. I like this oak versus the steel. It doesn't really add anything for me. So second one, I'm swishing it around my mouth. This wine is really good. Okay, so smooth finish. It's dry, but it's lightly dry. It's not overly dry like a Merlot, so I like it. It's definitely fruity, maybe a little citrus as well. I think that's it. That's what I taste. This is gonna be so good with my chicken. All right, so cheers to next time. Hope y'all enjoyed it and learned a little bit about wine tonight. Take care. Salute.